Your life begins to transform the moment you choose to think differently. And this, right here, could be that moment. This is Mindshift with Geetanjali, the space where you shift your mindset, rise above limitations, and reframe your reality. I'm Geetanjali, mindset coach, author, and your companion on this journey to rediscover the power that's already within you. Let's begin. Thank you so much for being here with me today, and thank you for continuing to walk this journey with me. This season, we are exploring the emotional and subconscious patterns that quietly shape our lives underneath the surface. And today's conversation may completely change the way you see yourself. Because many people believe self sabotage means laziness, lack of discipline, or lack of willpower. But what if self sabotage is not destruction at all? What if, on a subconscious level, it is protection? Protection from rejection, from failure, from disappointment, from overwhelm. Protection from emotional pain the nervous system does not want to experience again. And if that resonates with you, this episode is for you. We are going to look at the 4 P's today: problem, promise, proof, and plan. Problem. Have you ever noticed yourself getting close to something important and then suddenly pulling away? You start making progress, then procrastinate. You begin healing, then return to old habits. You want a connection, but emotionally shut down. You want success, but avoid opportunities. You want change, but stay inside familiar cycles. And afterward, you feel frustrated with yourself. You think, why do I keep doing this? Why can't I stay consistent? Why do I always ruin things when they start going well? And over time, many people begin labeling themselves lazy, broken, unmotivated, weak, or incapable. But often, what looks like self sabotage externally is actually emotional protection internally. Promise. And once you begin understanding self sabotage through the lens of the nervous system, everything starts changing. Because you stop attacking yourself, you begin recognizing that many behaviors were never created to destroy you. They were created to protect you from emotional experiences your nervous system learned to fear. And from that awareness, real healing becomes possible. Not through shame, not through self criticism, but through understanding, safety, and conscious rewiring. Proof. Psychology and neuroscience now show us that the nervous system prioritizes emotional safety over growth. This means the brain will often choose familiar discomfort over unfamiliar possibility. Why? Because familiarity feels predictable and predictability feels safer to the nervous system. So, if someone previously experienced criticism, rejection, abandonment, pressure, humiliation, or emotional pain, the brain learns to associate certain experiences with danger. And later, when similar situations appear again, the nervous system may unconsciously create avoidance behaviors to prevent future pain. And later, when similar situations appear again, the nervous system may unconsciously create avoidance behaviors to prevent future pain. Procrastination, perfectionism, avoidance, people pleasing, emotional shutdown, overthinking, quitting too early. Not because the person lacks potential, but because the nervous system is trying to prevent emotional harm. This is why awareness matters so deeply. Because when we understand the protective intention underneath the behavior, we stop fighting with ourselves and begin healing the root cause. Plan. So, what do we do when we recognize self sabotage patterns in our lives? First, we stop responding with shame. Shame keeps the nervous system stuck in survival. Awareness creates space for healing. Second, we begin asking, what is this behavior trying to protect me from emotionally? Not just, how do I stop the behavior? Because underneath many self sabotaging patterns is fear. Fear of rejection, of failure, of being seen, of disappointment, fear of not being enough. And third, we begin teaching the nervous system that growth, connection, and success can feel safe. Slowly, consistently, compassionately. Because healing is not forcing yourself harshly into change, it is creating enough emotional safety for change to finally happen naturally. And this connects deeply to last week's episode. Are you unconsciously afraid of success? Because many forms of self sabotage are actually fear responses hidden beneath behavior. One part of you wants growth, another part is trying to keep you emotionally safe. Let's go deeper into the science section as to what is happening neurologically during self sabotaging behavior. The brain is designed to protect us from perceived danger, and emotional pain can feel just as threatening to the nervous system as physical danger. So, when experiences like rejection, criticism, abandonment, or humiliation happen repeatedly, the brain creates protective emotional patterns to avoid experiencing that pain again. This involves the amygdala, which scans for emotional threat, the basal ganglia, which stores habitual patterns and automatic behaviors, and the nervous system itself, which learns to associate certain experiences with emotional risk. So imagine someone once experienced deep embarrassment after being vulnerable, or criticism after succeeding, or rejection after opening up emotionally. The brain remembers that. And later, when a similar situation appears, the nervous system activates protection automatically. Sometimes through avoidance, sometimes through procrastination, through perfectionism, sometimes through emotional withdrawal. This is why self-sabotage often feels irrational. Consciously, the person wants the opportunity, relationship, or growth. But subconsciously, the nervous system is trying to avoid pain. And this is incredibly important. The brain is not asking, will this help me grow? It is asking, will this keep me emotionally safe? But because of neuroplasticity, these patterns can change. Every time we bring awareness to automatic behaviors, every time we regulate the nervous system instead of reacting unconsciously, we begin creating new emotional pathways. And slowly the brain learns. Growth is safe, connection is safe, visibility is safe, success is safe. Imagine someone named Ava. Ava has always dreamt of doing meaningful work. For years, she talked about starting her coaching business. She invested in courses, created ideas, made plans, bought the equipment, even told people she was finally going to begin. But every time she got close to launching, something happened. She suddenly became exhausted, distracted herself with smaller tasks, started doubting everything, compared herself endlessly to others. Weeks turned into months, months turned into years, and deep inside, Ava felt ashamed. She told herself, maybe I'm just lazy. Maybe I do not have what it takes. Maybe I'm not disciplined enough. But the truth went much deeper. Growing up, Ava was often criticized whenever she stood out. Achievement created pressure, mistakes created shame, visibility attracted judgment. So now, even though her conscious mind wanted success, her nervous system associated visibility with emotional danger. Launching the business was not just starting a business emotionally. To her nervous system, it meant being judged, possibly failing publicly, possibly disappointing people, possibly not feeling safe emotionally anymore. So her nervous system created protection patterns. Procrastination, overthinking, perfectionism, delay. Not because she was weak, but because part of her was trying to avoid emotional pain. And this happens to many people. Sometimes the behavior we judge most harshly in ourselves was originally created by the nervous system to help us survive emotionally. Imagine someone named Marcus. Marcus deeply wanted love and connection, but every time someone started getting emotionally close to him, he pulled away. At first, relationships felt exciting. But as intimacy deepened, he became uncomfortable. He stopped texting consistently, became emotionally distant, focused excessively on work, started finding flaws in the other person. And eventually the relationship ended. Each time Marcus convinced himself, I just have not found the right person. But underneath it, his nervous system associated emotional closeness with pain. As a child, being vulnerable often led to disappointment. Love felt inconsistent, trust felt unsafe, opening up emotionally once led to hurt. So now, when relationships become deeper and emotionally real, his nervous system automatically activates protection. Distance, avoidance, emotional shutdown. Not because he does not want love, but because a part of him is afraid of the pain love once carried. And this is a heartbreaking part about self-sabotage. Often the behaviors we push away are the very things we want, are actually attempts to protect us from pain we have not fully healed yet. So today I want to give you a practice called the protection pattern pause. Because healing begins when we stop attacking the behavior and start understanding the fear underneath it. The next time you notice yourself procrastinating, avoiding, shutting down, or pulling away from something important, walk through these 5 steps. Step 1. Notice a pattern. Pause and ask, what behavior am I repeating now? Avoidance, perfectionism, People pleasing, emotional withdrawal, overthinking, quitting too early. Step 2. Ask what it may be protecting you from. This is a powerful question. What emotional pain might this behavior be trying to help me avoid? Judgment, failure, rejection, embarrassment, pressure, disappointment. Step 3. Identify the old association. Ask yourself, when have I felt this emotional fear before? This helps uncover subconscious emotional conditioning. Often, the pattern is older than the current situation. Step 4. Regulate the nervous system. Slow your breathing. Relax your shoulders. Ground yourself physically. Because awareness works best when the nervous system feels safe enough to stay present. Step 5. Take one compassionate forward step. Not a giant leap, one compassionate step forward. Send the message, start the task, have the conversation, share the idea, stay emotionally present. Because every small action teaches the brain, I no longer need protection through self-sabotage. And remember, self-sabotage is not proof that you are broken. Very often, it is proof that a part of your nervous system has been trying to protect you for a very long time. And healing begins the moment we stop fighting ourselves and start listening with compassion. And before we close today, I want to guide you through a visualization designed to help the nervous system release fear-based protection patterns and create more emotional safety around growth, connection, and self-trust. Visualization helps the brain rehearse new emotional experiences. And over time, those repeated experiences help create new neural pathways connected to calm, safety, and emotional freedom. So, this exercise is designed to help your mind and body begin softening old protection responses and creating space for healing. Take a slow, deep breath in. And gently exhale. Again, breathe in deeply and exhale slowly. Allow your body to begin softening. Relax your shoulders, relax your jaw, relax your chest. And imagine yourself standing inside a quiet room filled with warm golden light. The room feels peaceful, safe, calm. And in front of you is a heavy backpack you have been carrying for years. A backpack filled with old emotional protection patterns. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of judgment, fear of vulnerability, fear of not being enough. And notice how heavy it has become. How exhausting it has been carrying these fears alone. Now slowly kneel down beside the backpack. And instead of judging yourself for carrying it, place your hand gently on it with compassion. Because these patterns were not created because you were weak. They were created because part of you was trying to survive emotionally. And now quietly say to yourself, thank you for trying to protect me. but I no longer need to carry all of this fear alone. It is safe for me to grow. It is safe for me to trust myself. It is safe for me to move forward. And now imagine slowly removing the backpack from your shoulders. Feel the emotional weight becoming lighter. Feel your body breathing more freely. Feel your nervous system softening. And now imagine yourself standing taller, lighter, calmer, freer. No longer controlled by old survival patterns. No longer shrinking yourself out of fear. And quietly repeat within yourself, I release fear-based protection patterns. I do not need self-sabotage to keep me safe. I can grow safely. I can move forward safely. I am learning to trust myself again. Take one final deep breath in and slowly exhale. Allow your body to remember, healing is not becoming someone new. It is becoming safe enough to finally be yourself. So this week, instead of criticizing your patterns, become curious about them. Ask yourself, what is this behavior trying to protect me from? Because often beneath self-sabotage is a nervous system that learns survival before safety. And when we begin responding to ourselves with compassion instead of shame, real transformation finally becomes possible. And next week, join me for the next episode. Are you chasing goals that aren't even yours? Because we are going to explore how external expectations, conditioning, and comparison can disconnect us from our authentic desires, and how to reconnect with goals that truly align with who we are. Thank you for joining me today on Mindshift with Geetanjali. If this episode spoke to you, share it with someone who needs to hear this message and subscribe for next week's episode. Every moment of awareness you create today builds the reality you live tomorrow. Keep rising, keep shifting, keep reframing, and keep becoming who you're meant to be. Rise, shift, reframe, become.